Students, in past few lectures, we are learning about motion under gravity. And in previous lecture also, we have solved few problems based on motion under gravity. As a part of that, we will continue our discussion with few more problems under motion under gravity concept. Now, in this problem, it is mentioned, it is been given, a stone is allowed to fall from top of a tower 300-meter height, and at the same time another stone is projected vertically up from the ground with a velocity 100 meter per second. Find when and where the two stones meet. It is very simple. I'll explain the problem and you can solve that very easily. Now see here, let me consider this is a tower. This is a tower, and this tower is 300 meter high. It is 300 meter height. Height of this tower is mentioned as 300 meter, and a body is being allowed to fall from top. It is allowed to fall from top. As a result, it is falling from top. Its initial velocity will be 0. Finally, when it comes to ground, its velocity will be non-zero. Velocity goes on, increases. And next, what did he give is, there is another body which is being thrown up with some initial velocity 100 meter per second. This body is being thrown with some initial velocity 100 meter per second. Now let me take this as object A and this as object B. Body A is falling freely. Body B is thrown vertically upward with initial velocity 100 meter per second. Now these bodies, when they are traveling, this goes up, and when it is coming down at one particular point, like this is the point where they are meeting. This is the point where they are meeting. So that means coming from position A, this ball is falling down. It takes some time, right? That time is t. In the same time, this body which is being thrown up, it should go to this particular height, and that is also t second. Now let me consider that height traveled by this body, it is ha, and height traveled by this body, let me consider it as hp, right? Now till here it is ha, and till here it is hp. What is the total height? Total height is ha plus hb, which is equal to 300 meter. That is mentioned in the problem. This is given to you in the problem. Now I want to find out when and where do these two objects meet. When and where do mean time taken, how much it is, you should calculate, and at what position they are meeting, HA and HB, you should find out. You should find out this. Now I am considering that the time taken to cross each other be t seconds. Therefore, I can use simply HA is equal to ut plus half gt square. But what is u for body A? U is equal to 0. So HA will be equal to half gt square. Let me take this as equation 1. Coming to the second, when the body is being thrown up from bottom, HB is equal to ut minus half gt square. Time taken in both the cases is same. What is u given? 100. Therefore, HB is equal to 100 into t minus half gt square. This is equation number 2, right? We know that HA plus HB is equal to 300 meter. I'll just use that in use this concept, and I'll add 1 and 2. So half gt square plus 100t minus half gt square is equal to 300. This is what already known to you from the first expression itself. Half gt square gets cancelled. So t will be equal to 3 seconds. That means the time taken by these bodies to cross each other will be 3 seconds. So after 3 seconds, bodies meet each other. Now you should find out what is that particular length. So I'll simply use HA and HB basic expressions. HA is equal to half, G is 10, and this is 3 square. It is 2 5 10 because T is 3. This is equal to 3 square is 9 plus 9 pi is 45. Therefore, height traveled HA is equal to 45 meter. HA is equal to 45 meter. You should find out even HB also. Just substitute that HB is equal to 100 into 3 minus half GT square, already it is calculated, that is 45. So HB will be equal to 255 meter. This is HB, right? So from top, if you see at 45 meter, they are meeting each other. From the bottom at a distance of 255 meter, they are meeting each other. So that is how you can solve the problem, and it's very simple one. In this particular slide, students, we are going to see a body which is being projected from top of a tower. So far what we have learned is body is directly projected from the ground. But in this article, we are going to learn body projected vertically from top of a tower. Now see, this is a tower, and from this tower you are throwing an object. This is the object, and this object is being thrown from tower, and this is having some height h. Height of the tower is given as h. Now initial position of this, I am naming it as A. This is initial position. When the body is being projected from top of the tower, its velocity is not equal to 0. You will be giving some velocity so that it reaches maximum height. And after going to maximum height, finally, its velocity V dash becomes 0. And then after reaching maximum height, and then it falls down freely. So it goes on falling down. And when it is coming down, it meets the same position A. And at this position, it has the same velocity again, U, which is not equal to 0. What does it mean? See, when the body is starting from position A, if you are providing some velocity 10 meter per second, say for example, this is 10 meter per second given. So when it goes up, 10 decreases to 0. 10 becomes 0. Finally, when it is coming down to the same level A, it is coming. So therefore, when it is coming down, finally at position A, it starts from 0 and finally obtains same value 10 meter per second. So when in the downward journey, it again gains the same 10 meter per second velocity. And from 10 even, it is not stopping at that position A. It is still falling down to the bottom of the tower. And this position, I name it as B. And at this point, final velocity is not equal to 0. Still it increases from 10. It may become even 20. I have took one simple example of 10 meter per second. It can be even any other value. Now body is starting at A and it is reaching the position B, right? Now choosing the initial position as origin. Choosing initial position of body thrown up as origin. You can take this as origin, and you can now plot graph like this. Not exactly graph, I am taking coordinate system, right? This is y-axis and this is minus y. This is x-axis. Here it is minus x, here it is plus x. Okay, Now, where is the initial position? Here is initial position A. And finally, where it is coming? It is coming to this position B, right? How much is this length? This length is equal to H. As it is coming down, what you need to write it as? It is minus H, because from the origin, it is traveling along negative Y direction. Therefore, net displacement of the body is minus H. Net displacement of the body from initial to final, that is minus H displacement. Okay. Now, using equation of motion, we have equation of motion. S is equal to ut plus half at square. This S stands for net displacement. What is net displacement over here? Net displacement is equal to minus H, which is equal to initial velocity. The projected velocity is u as it is, and let a time taken, the total time from point A to point B. It is taking some time. I am considering that time as t plus half, and body acceleration due to gravity, I am taking it as g as it is. It is g t square, right? This is the important equation. When you are throwing a body from top of the tower, you need to take this equation as minus H is equal to ut plus half gt square, where g value, don't take it as negative, you take as it is like positive only. G value you should take positive. Don't get confused over here. Net displacement only I am considering it as minus H, remaining as it is, ut plus half gt square. Now, from this expression, I'll just go with mathematical simplifications. You can write this as minus H is equal to 2ut plus gt square divided by 2. That 2 I am writing here. Okay. And this gives you gt square plus 2ut minus 2h is equal to 0. This is in the form of quadratic expression ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This is in the quadratic expression form, right? So as it is in the form of quadratic expression, you can write for roots as x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. You can use this expression for solving this. Okay. Now, in this expression, you can write a is equal to g and b is equal to 2u, c is equal to minus 2h. Substitute in this, x is equal to t. Now t is equal to minus 2u plus or minus under root b square 4u square minus 4 into a into c minus 2h divided by 2a into g. Clear? Now, this gives you t as 2u minus 2u divided by 2g, that is minus u by g. Minus u by g plus or minus under root 4u square minus this total. So it can be 4, take it out. 4 I am bringing it out, so that if you are writing it out of the root, 4 will become 2. Therefore it is 2 into 4 I have already took out. It is u square minus this 4 comes out, minus of minus will become plus, and what is left over here? 2gh divided by 2g. This 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So we have two values for time taken. T1, this is equal to minus u by g plus under root u square plus 2gh divided by g, or we have another value for t, that is t2, it is minus u by g minus of under root u square plus 2gh divided by 2. But what about this t2? T2 is negative, as T2 is negative time. Time cannot be negative, right? Therefore, we eliminate it. So what is the final expression for time? That is T is equal to minus U by G plus under root U square plus 2GH divided by G. This is the final expression for time taken. Time taken by body from top of a tower of height h. So once if time is calculated, you can take that time and you can substitute in this expression so that you will be getting initial velocity. So whenever you are getting equation, whenever you are getting problem based on this concept, you should use the fundamental equation minus h is equal to ut plus half gt square and write it in the form of quadratic expression. From that quadratic expression, calculate time, take that time, substitute in the fundamental equation, you will get initial velocity. After getting initial velocity, whatever you want, you can find out using basic equations of motion. Students, in this question, a balloon starts from rest, moves vertically upward with an acceleration of g by 8 meter per second square. A stone falls from balloon after 8 seconds from the start. Further time taken by the stone to reach the ground. This is little bit different question. First, I'll explain the question, then try to attempt this problem yourself. A balloon starts from rest. Say like this is a balloon. Right? This is a balloon. It is starting from rest. Its initial velocity u is equal to 0. And this is moving vertically upward with an acceleration g by 8 meter per second square. Right? Now it has some acceleration upward, and that is g dash, which is equal to g by 8 meter per second square. That is acceleration of the body. Actually, g you should take it as 9.8 meter per second or 10, no problem with that. But this balloon is not moving with acceleration due to gravity. It is moving with some net acceleration, which is g by 8 meter per second square. Now it is going up. Okay. A stone falls from balloon after 8 seconds from the start. That means this balloon have started at this position. It is going upward. It have went to some position. Let me name this as A. Let me name this as B. And from A to B, it have took time 8 seconds. And at this position, a stone has fallen. A stone falls from balloon after 8 seconds from the top. That means at this position B, a stone is falling down, right? Now understand carefully. When this balloon is going from A to B, it has some velocity. Finally, there will be some velocity non-zero. I will be considering that velocity as V dash. Okay. Velocity of the balloon at position B, I am taking it as V dash. And where is the stone now? Stone is inside the balloon. So what is the stone velocity at this position B? Stone velocity is also the same, and that is in which direction? Upward. Its velocity will be V dash. Okay. This concept should be very clear. Right. So students, as the stone is inside the balloon at 8 seconds, velocity of the balloon and stone both should be in upward direction at the point when you are leaving the stone. So as a result, this stone falls down like it is at the top of a tower. Now let the time taken by this stone to fall down as t second. That is t second. I am considering it as t second. Okay. Now you should find out t only. This t second you are supposed to find out. So in order to find out this t second, what you need to do? You need to find out the height. Okay. So from top of the tower concept, I can write it here. Body thrown or from top of tower. Concept. We have equation for time taken, that is equal to minus of u by g plus under root u square plus 2gh divided by g. This is a time taken, right? I hope this is what equation which we have derived in the previous slide. Now in this problem, u value it is 0. This u value you can take it as 0, but you do not know this h value. So what you need to do, you should find out this h, and g is acceleration due to gravity, but here net acceleration after leaving the stone, body is under the acceleration due to gravity. It is not in the balloon. After leaving the stone, it is under gravity. Therefore, you will be taking g as 10 meter per second square. So here in this problem, you can use u is equal to v dash. At this point, it is having velocity v dash, and g is equal to 10 meter per second square as it is. And you should find out this h value. You should find out v dash, and as well as you should find out h. Now in order to find out v dash, I will be using equation of motion, that I'll write it like this. V dash is equal to u plus at. Right? Now v dash is equal to, what is u? 0 plus what is acceleration of the balloon? It is g by 8 into time taken, how much it is? 8 seconds. Right? 8 and 8 gets cancelled. What is left over here? V dash is equal to g. So V dash is equal to g. What is value of g? This is 10 meter per second. Remember, it is V dash numerically equal to 10. So velocity at the time of projection of the stone, it is 10 meter per second. That we have got it. Next, what you should do? You should find out the height, right? Now, in order to find out the height, what I'll do? I'll take h is equal to v dash square minus u square divided by 2 into a, right? What is v dash? 10. 10 square minus 0 divided by 2 into, what is acceleration of the balloon? G by 8. This gives you 2 4s 8. This is equal to 100 square 1000 divided by g by 4. So what is h now? H will be equal to 4000 divided by 10. 10, this and this gets cancelled. What is left over here? 400 meter. H value we have got it as 400 meter. Now take this h and v dash, substitute in this expression for time taken. So t will be equal to minus of, what is u? U is numerically equal to 10 divided by g value is also 10 plus under root, what is u? Numerically it is 10 square plus 2 into 10 into h is 400 divided by 10. This value you should evaluate. It is minus 1 plus under root 10 square is 100 plus 2 4s 8 1 2 3 divided by 10. Numerically evaluate this value so that you will be getting time taken by the stone to reach the ground. Small mistake I have made. 10 square is 100, but I have to get as 1000. You just please rectify that. It is 100 and this becomes 40 meter. I'll substitute that 40 over here. And this will be 4 2s 8 and this is 800. 800 plus 100, 900. Minus 1 plus root 900, that is 30 divided by 10. So 30 minus 1, it is 29 divided by 10, which is equal to 2.9 seconds. That is the time, final time taken by the stone to reach the ground. See, we have 3 stones. All of those 3 stones are falling from same height. This is first one. It is being thrown upward. It is projected vertically up. When it is projected vertically up, its velocity is not equal to 0. So u not equal to 0 because it is being projected upward. Vertically up with velocity u. The second one is thrown down vertically with same velocity. So second one, it is thrown down and this is not equal to 0. Remember that it is not equal to 0 because you are not leaving, you are throwing it downward. You are throwing it downward with same velocity. That is equal to u. And the third one is dropped as freely falling body. Third one, you are dropping it just, it has freely falling body. Therefore, it is initial velocity taken as 0. If T1, T2, T3 are the time taken by them to reach the ground. So first one is taking time T1. Second one is taking time T2. Third one is taking time T3. You should now find out relation between T1, T2 and T3. You need to find out the relations between T1, T2 and T3. First, let me write down the equations for equations of motion for these objects. First, I can write it as minus h is equal to u T1 plus half g T1 square. This is for first body. Next, coming to the second one, body is falling down, but it is not freely falling body. So I will write it as h is equal to initial velocity is non-zero, u T2 plus half g T2 square, that is for second body. Remember, right hand side for equation 1 and equation 2, they are not equal because T1, T2 are not same. Right, coming to the third one, we have h is equal to, what is initial velocity for this body? For the third body, it is 0. I'll just substitute that 0. 0 plus half g into T3 square. Therefore, what do you get for h? H is equal to half g T3 square. Okay, this is equation 3. This is for third body. Right? Now, commonly for all the 3 bodies, height is the same. So therefore, equation for the third body, you have got value of h. You can take that and substitute in the second equation. From there, you can solve T2 and T3. From there, you can use the T1 or T2 or T3 to get in the equation 1. Finally, you can relate values of the times T1, T2 and T3. Okay. Common point for all the 3 bodies is height. H is the same for all the 3 points. All the 3 bodies, H is same. For third body, we have calculated directly equation for H. It is half G T square, T3 square. Okay. You can use this H value for the second body equation. So you will get relation between T2 and T3. Fine. And take that and you can use it in equation 1 so that you will get relation between T1, T2 and T3. So what I do is equation 1 I'll multiply with T2. Equation 2 I'll multiply with T1 and then add them. If you are adding them, you are getting H is equal to half G T1 T2, right? And already we have got equation 3, that is H is equal to half GT3 square. Just using that, half G T3 square is equal to half G T1 T2. Half G gets cancelled. T3 is equal to root T1 T2. Right? So T3 is equal to root T1 T2 is relation between 3 times T1 comma T2 and T3. This is the final relation between all the three times, right? Relation between T1, T2, T3, you have got it as T3 is equal to root T1, T2. And after that, if you solve equation 1 and equation 2, that means equating right hand sides of equation 1 and 2, you will get equation for initial velocity. That will be u is equal to half g T1 minus T2. T1 and T2 are the times for first body and second body.